Hello, beautiful people. Top of the morning to you. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you'll be watching the session. Welcome to the newspaper review for today. I am Ayo and I will be reviewing with you today. Before I go ahead into all that I have for you today, let's go on a quick break and I'll be right back. So today we'll be reviewing the Oronsoye'S report that was implemented by President Tinubu, and also we'll be looking at the suspension of the NLC protests. They have given the government the ultimatum of a 14 days ultimatum before they go ahead with the strike they earlier proposed. So very quickly, let's look at the first headline that was taken from Vanguard. And it says Tinubu reduces 263 MDAs to 161 as FEC adopts Oronsoye'S report. The Federal Executive Council on Monday approved the adoption of the Oronsoye'S report aimed at the reduction of costs of governance for implementation. So very quickly, I would like to take you back to history. So 12 years ago, which was in 2012, the Oronsoye'S report was a 800 pages report that contained how cost of governance will be reduced. As at then, the government parastatals that we had in 2012 was 521 government parastatals. And according to the report, it says 220 of those parastatals will be cut down, just so the cost of governance will be reduced. And in 2012, that report was approved, but it wasn't implemented. And 12 years after, in 2024, they brought back this Oronsoye'S report. And in this administration, they said the report is now going to be implemented. Before I read the news in details, I would like to also remind you that the government parastatals that we have in 2024 is over 1,000 government parastatals. As at 12 years ago, when this report was first approved, there were about 521 parastatals, but now we have over 1,000 government parastatals, and it is leading me to ask if at all they are going to if they want to cut the cost of governance, how many government parastatals will be cut out? So very quickly, let's look at the remaining part of the news so you can get the details. So the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents at the end of the FEC meeting presided over the President Bola Tinubu at the Council Chamber, Presidential Villa, Abuja. The minister explained that with the adoption of the report, it means that some agencies, commissions, and departments of government have been scrapped, some merged, some subsumed under some others, and others moved under new ministries where they are supposed to perform better. In a very bold move today, this administration, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, consistent again with his courage to take very far-reaching decisions in the interest of Nigerians, has taken a decision to implement the so-called Oronsoye report. Now, what that means is that a number of agencies, commissions, and some departments have actually been scrapped. Some have been merged, while others have been subsumed. Others, of course, have also been moved from some ministries to others where government feels they will operate better. Now, this is the same administration that has immediately they come into power. Immediately, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into power. He appointed 50 ministers. These 50 ministers are under payroll. These 50 ministers has allowances allocated to them. At the end of every month, there is an annual allowance allocated to them. And it is bringing Nigerians to ask that now that the Mr. President is saying that he wants to implement the Oronsoye'S report that for cost of governance to be cut out. Now, wasn't he thinking about this report when he appointed these 50 ministers? Wasn't he thinking about how how expensive it is going to be to manage all of these ministers together with some offices that has been in place that are not even working? Wasn't he thinking about cost of governance when he appointed these people? There are things that we do in this country, and it makes me wonder if we are actually thinking at all before we do all of these things. Now, we have about 1,316 government parastatals currently as we speak in 2024. Now, if they are going to cut out ministries, according to the headline that we have here, but that some government parastatals will be merged under some ministries. Some of them will be cut out. Some of them will be submerged. Some of them will be subsumed, and all of that. Now, a lot of people are going to lose their job, even though some of them are just collecting money they are not working for. Now, they said in 2012, when this report, this Oronsoye'S report, was first approved, one of the issues that they had then was, if we implement this thing, people will not have anything doing. People will be out of jobs and all of that. This report was only approved and was never implemented. And now that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has implemented this report, one of the annoying things that is currently going on at the federal level, which I find I am so concerned about, is that there is really no transparency. Transparency in the sense that you want to implement a report. Let us know your plan on how you intend to merge all of these ministries together. Let us know your plan on how you intend to, those people that will be out of jobs, what are the things that will be made available to them? Are there other opportunities that these people have? What then will be the collective responsibility of these ministries that has been merged together? What is going to be their role? Are all of this the workers, the people in all of these ministries, are they going to combine forces together, or there are some people that will be cut out? There is no proper planning. And another thing is that the report was implemented hastily, in the sense that some of these agencies were constitutionally created. They underwent all sorts of processes before this bill was passed into law. Why can't those processes also be passed at the same time? Okay, let's look at all of these ministries. We know why we created them. Now that we are scrapping them, let it go through the same process it went through before it was implemented, on how it is going to be scrapped, so people can know their lots. We see Nigerians are tired of hasty decisions. What is currently happening in the country is issue of hunger, and cutting out government parastatals is still going to take a while before we begin to see this effect. We want immediacy in which things are implemented. I just hope that this is not going to be the same 2012 when this report was not implemented. It was only approved. Now all of the headlines are saying it was approved. It is going to be implemented. So let's see how it goes. So in 2012, the report says that if 220 government parastatals cut out 521 government parastatals, that they are going to save 800 billion naira. Now that we have 1,316 government parastatals in 2024, how many government parastatals will be cut out? And how much will be saved in the process? All of these things, we don't know them. You can't just come and tell people that you want to cut out government when we don't even know what we are going to see. That was the same thing that happened months ago when the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he said got the subsidy is gone. We heard that subsidy is gone. The money that was recovered from subsidy, we don't even know where it is heading to. We don't know what those money are invested on. The only thing we know is governors of different states. We don't know exactly what that money is all about. So this administration is full of talking. Let Nigerians see. Okay, we are going to cut out of the 1,316 government parastatals that we have. 600 of them will be cut out, and this is money we are going to recover from those ministries that are cut out. And these are the things that those money will be invested on. This is where transparency comes into place, because we can see now that this administration is open. At least they have all of this in plans, and this is going to make Nigerians say, okay, let's feel at rest. There's something we are looking forward to. But the only thing we are looking forward to right now is that government parastatals will be cut out. But Nigerians stand on the economy, outside the fact that they said they want to cut out the cost of governance. So cutting out cost of governance is a good idea. There's nothing bad about it. We are not saying anything is bad about it. But we need to inspect all of the expenditures that we have on ground. Let's see how things will be put in place, how things will start working. We no longer want to approve we no longer want to hear that this thing is being implemented when we are not seeing the effect. This is not a spiritual world. This is physical, and we want our presidents, we want the federal government to deal with us with things that we can see. We want the job done now. We want it to start happening right now. Yes, Nigerians, we are quick to say fast everything. Yes, we want it done urgently, because we have been hearing that the reason for this is so that things will fall in place. But we want to see these things manifesting. So let's start from here. What cost exactly does Mr. President intend to cut for himself? Because you have to lead by example. Is it that he's going to sell his yacht? Is it that he's going to all of the allowances that is allocated to him is going to cut out of it? That, okay, out of the allowances that is allocated to me, 50% of it should be cut out. Let's invest it on agriculture. Let's invest it on this. So what does he intend to cut out for himself? And there was a time they proposed that cars should be bought for first ladies. Why buy car for first ladies when they have cars already? Why go through all of that? So part of the things they should cut out is that no more cars for first ladies. Yeah, the one they are using is enough. They should not put all of the burden on the federal government, that it is out of the country's purse that they are going to use to buy cars for first ladies. Also, they should also cut out the money they spend on frivolities, the money they spend on extravagant lifestyles. That also should be cut out, instead of cutting only ministries. Also, multiple projects should be cut down. So these are the things that we want to see happen, that hey, no more allocations to all of this, all of the money for entertainment that is allocated to different government. At least there was a time that that the governor of Osun State was saying that only 500 million was allocated to them for entertainment. All of those money are not necessary. All of those things are not necessary. So those allowances that are not I really do not know the right word to use it, but those are unnecessary allowances. They should also be cut down. And I am going to end this review on this note that Nigerians need immediate implementation, not some talk show. We need immediate implementation of all the things that they said they wanted to do. They want to cut out all of these things. We want to see them manifesting. We need a quick and a swift action. We need these things to begin to fall into place. So this will be the end of the review on the first headline. And very quickly, we'll go to the second headline to be reviewed with you today. And it is on the protest that happened yesterday, the NLC protest and all of that. But it is so unfortunate that now they said they are giving the government another 2 weeks ultimatum before they will proceed with their with the strike again, before they will proceed with another protest again. So very quickly, let's look at the headline and the news in details before we go into our review. And the headline says economic hardship, NLC suspends protest, gives FG fresh 2-week ultimatum. The Nigerian Labour Congress has suspended the nationwide planned protest slated for Wednesday. The NLC and other related unions commenced national planned protests on Tuesday over the high cost of living, inflation, insecurity, and hardship in the country. The protesters carried placards such as "End Poverty and Hunger," "Support Local Industries," "Fix Local Refineries," "End Subsidy," "End Naira Devaluation," "Tax the Rich, Subsidize the Poor," to make their grievance known on current economic hardship across the country. The protesters headed to the National Assembly, where the NLC President Joe Ajaero presented a letter of demands to President Bola Tinubu through the leadership of the National Assembly. However, in a communique issued at the end of the National Executive Council meeting and signed by its president Joe Ajaero and General Secretary Ismail Bello on Tuesday, the NLC believes that the message from the protest was effectively communicated to the government. The NEC of the Congress in session on Friday, February 16, 2024, ordered the 2-day nationwide protest to join Nigerians in demonstrating outrage over the massive suffering and hunger facing the masses and workers as a result of the policies of the government to hike the price of premium motor spirits and float the naira. So just yesterday, I watched while the president of the NLC was being interviewed, Joe Ajayi, while he was being interviewed during the protest, and he made mention of something. He said, the protest is not really about minimum wage, that they are not here to talk about, they are not protesting for minimum wage, but they are protesting so hunger can be eradicated, that the naira devaluation can be worked on. They are protesting so local refineries can begin to work. They are protesting so they can support local industries. They are protesting so they can tax the rich and subsidize the poor. So according to him, he said the protest is not all about the minimum wage alone. But some of the things that I want to ask is that this protest was actually supposed to be should be a combined force of the NLC, the Nigerian Labour Congress, and the TUC, the Trade Union Congress. But it is seeming to us like, it's seeming to me personally like there is a division between NLC and TUC, since both of them are actually, they are meant to be working together. And the TUC insisted that no, they are not going to combine forces with NLC, that NLC should go ahead and be protesting, that they are not going to work with NLC, they are not going to join NLC in this protest. So it shows that there is a level of division in between TUC and NLC. And yesterday, in an interview with Arise TV, the former president of TUC, Mr. Peter Ebele, he said something. He said while he was still the president of TUC, one of the things that ensure that protest is effective is if about 8 bodies under NLC and TUC come together to agree that this protest is going to happen, and these are the places we are going to go. This is where we are going to venture our energy on. These are the things that make the protest effective. But currently, the only body that signed that this protest should come into play are just 4 out of the 8 bodies. He said, hence, he cannot tell that this protest is really going to be effective, regardless of where they go to, regardless of how they go about the protests. So now, what is the ground of the TUC on the protest? Why are they not protesting? Is it that they are okay with all of the things that is happening in the country, so that they are satisfied, or is it that the minimum wage does not affect them? Is it that the current hardship is not affecting them? Is it that there's somebody somewhere that is sponsoring them, and they are not feeling the pains of Nigeria and all of that? So according to Joe Ajaero, he said this thing is about hunger, and we must work on how hunger can be eradicated. Because before you know it, an hungry man will end up becoming an angry man. And now that they are giving a 2-week ultimatum, I wouldn't be surprised if the protest comes with violence. Because now that they have protested yesterday, and we can see, as you can see it being displayed on the screen right now, you can see some of the things, the inscriptions that they had on the inscription they had on the banner, the placards they were holding, end hunger. Now, they came out peacefully on Tuesday. They came out peacefully without protest, and they turned their protest now, giving the federal government another 2-week ultimatum. I won't be surprised if that 2-week ultimatum comes back with full force, because there's practically no one you ask in this country now that what's up with you, that the person will not say, my brother, hunger is everywhere. My brother, things are expensive. My brother, how will I survive? These are the things in the mouth of Nigerians. How will I survive? So I wouldn't be surprised if after this 2-week ultimatum, not only NLC will come out, even from part of the TUC, the ones that do not agree with their president, Alex, Mr. Alex, when he said he's not going to go about with the protest, he's not going to support the protest with the NLC. We won't be surprised that there are some bodies among the TUC that will insist that, Oga, we are hungry. Let's go and protest. If you don't want to protest, no problem. We will go ahead and do this protest. And I won't be surprised if Nigerians take advantage of this protest that is coming up in 2 weeks' time. So we are using this medium to urge federal government to do the needful, so that this thing does not lead to what we do not expect. Nigerians are angry. The fact that they are warning the federal government is a proof that to be forward, like the popular saying, to be forewarned is to be forearmed, so that the federal government can do the needful before the end of that 2 weeks ultimatum. If not, we hope that whatever the federal government see, they are going to accept it. And this brings us to the end of the newspaper review for today. But before I leave the studio today, I would like that you follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, we're Prime Media TV. Do well to follow all that we do there. And also you can follow us on the website at enginespeak.com to get back-to-back that we do in the studio. Also, you can follow us on YouTube at Engine Speak to get back-to-back on all that we do in the studio. Also, before we leave the studio, we'd like to tell you about a platform where you can get all sorts of accessories, all sorts of equipment, all sorts of home appliances that you need. You can go through the website at remy.com.ng to get to check out for all these things that you're seeing on screen. You can search out for anything at all that you want, that you have been unable to get on any market space. They sell every and anything that you need on that market space. Do well to visit at remy.com.ng to access all of this within 3. If you are in Lagos, they deliver within 3 working days. And if you are outside Lagos, do not worry. They deliver within 7 working days. And their delivery is very swift. That will bring us to the end of the newspaper review for today. I am Ayo. Once again, do have a great day.